A lot has changed over the last few months on the Stage Analysis website since I last did a getting started video, so I thought it was about time I refreshed that. So all new members have got a sort of starting place to come to get a sort of grasp of what's going on the site and where to go and how to use the various new tools. So, and also a good refresher for any of the members that haven't, if there's any tools that you're not aware of as yet. So wanted to start off with when you first join the Stage Analysis website, you are brought to this page, the members dashboard here, which you can access through this button on the top right up here. So if you come up here and click on this button, you will come into this at any time. So anytime you log in, you automatically land on this page. And what this page has is all of the various posts that I post each night. Generally do have a couple of days where I don't post a week. Mondays, sometimes on a Wednesday, but majority of the time there's a post the majority of days. But as you can see, I've been a bit lighter recently as I was away for a little bit. But last post, for example, was a watch this post. So these posts, when you click into these, members see a completely different thing than what non-members see. So non-members will only get a small sample with a couple of stocks, whereas members will get the full watch list, all the marked up charts, and some extra little info, maybe a little bit of market breadth, etc. So you can come back to the members dashboard by clicking this button on the top right. So all of these, the members videos, the breadth posts, etc., are all in this latest post section. It's identical to if you're not logged in and you just go to the blog, but the difference is the posts are completely different between non-members and members. So another feature that we have on here is the Stage Analysis Screener, so called the US Stock Screening here. So you can either select it from this area up here. You can use the link in the members dashboard here to come through to it. So if you click the US Stock Screener button at the top here, this will bring you through to the page. And you can see at the top at the moment, we've got this filter block. This is going to change in time to just be a single button, and then you'll be able to select the various filters that you want to add. But at the moment, they're all selected. So what happens with this page is, for example, if you wanted to run a simple scan, one that I like to run each week is I look for the stocks that are strong. So that means they've got a SATA score of 6 or greater. So all of these, the 6 to 10s. So you do strong, you can see that it changed all the way down to 1352 from, if I go back to all, there's 5129 stocks there. So already you've only got 1,352 stocks there. You want to see all of the ones that have had a positive change that week. We've only got 393, for example, this week so far. Then you might want to do it by market cap. I tend to do plus mini or plus small, and so over 300 million as a starting point there. You want to hit average volume over 1.5 million. So the average volume is weekly volume. So generally, if you wanted over 300k a day, you need over 1.5 million. You see, we're now down to 210 entries. So later on in the week, you might want to look at relative volume. So if it's a Friday, for example, you might want to do at least 1 times the 10-week average volume here. So, but you don't need to do that on earlier in the week. If you do, you want to use lower values. You might want to do by price. So we've got custom filters on the price. There's multiple different filters here. So I tend to start off with over 5 and then the weekly closing range. So WCR is the weekly closing range on the candle. So if you imagine a candle from the high to the low, if you want to see a candle that's closed in the upper half of that bar, click on that one, and then you can see we're down to 164. So this can be a really good starting point just each week. This is like one of the most simple scans. So at the end of the week, you might also want to be looking for breakouts. So you can take that down. We've only got 39. You might want to look for breakdowns, etc. As I said, you also look through industry groups, sectors. So you only wanted to look at tech stocks, for example. We've got 34 there. You want to look at materials, you've got 21. So you can see we've got lots of good moves this week in the materials stocks here, and then you can filter that down even further. So you can come down to the industry, so metals and mining, for example, or you wanted to go down to just look at the gold stocks. See, there's plenty of gold stocks having a good move this week as I do the video in the early part of July here. So if you want to get out of these, you can either go back and put them back to all, or on this button over here, you can click reset filters, and that will take you back to the starting point. If you leave the page and come back, so if we go to the bell curve, for example, and come back and you haven't reset them, it will save your selection. So wherever you go, this will hold until you click reset filters over here. So click reset filters and it comes back. So this data is updated each day, an hour and 40 minutes after the close initially. Sometimes it's a bit later depending on how the market is, and some of the smaller stocks take longer. They don't get data for the smaller stocks until 2 or 3 hours after the close, so it gets updated multiple times throughout the night until it gets its final bit later in the night. So but the initial update is done an hour and 40 minutes after the close, and that's when the vast majority, your S&P 1500 stocks and some of the larger, more liquid stocks they're all updated. But your micro caps, anything under 300 million, for example, you can see there's almost 2,000 stocks here. They tend to take a little bit longer. So, but a good 2/3 of it is up to date after the first update there. So with this, you can go into the individual stocks. So I've just shown you how to filter them from here. If you click on either the ticker or the name in here, so LR here, click on that, it will take you through to the page, and you can see the stock page here. We've got a weekly chart, you've got the sub industry page here. If you click on sub industry, so this area here, just hover over this. So click on application software, you see this has got a load. Once it's cached once, it stays in place, and you see it highlights where the stock is relative to the other stocks in the group. So at the moment, ALAR is currently the leading stock in the application software space. Very strong Mansfield RS there. If you click out of it, it goes away. So click back into it, comes back. Click out of it, it goes away. Same with the sector. If you click that, it will come in. Needs to load first of all on the first load after the cache has happened. Once that's done, you can obviously scroll through and see all of the tech stocks here and where it is relative to the actual tech. So at the moment, leading tech stock as I do this video. We've got these blocks at the top here, which shows the percentage of stocks on a SATA score of 6 or greater. So this line here, so anything that's above this, so this shows there's 34% of stocks in the IT sector at the moment on a SATA score of 6 or greater. There's 31% in the industry group, and there's 31% in the sub-industry group. So that's the sub-industry group, which we just looked through, which there's obviously all of those stocks. So you can come back out of here again, come back to the US stock screen. For example, you can click into any of the other stocks you want. You can search in this area here. So for example, I wanted to see Adobe. You can see that searched through there. You can click on the stock, go through to it. You can see just popping back through. It's 30-week moving average. It's gone from a weak score to a strong score over the last 5 weeks. This block down the bottom here shows the last 5 weeks score, and this shows the weeks, the bars. So it starts off with the Monday bar, and obviously that then builds as the week goes. And down here on the chart, we've got the SATA score, and we've got the Mansfield relative strength and the zero line, which is the 52-week moving average of the stock divided by the S&P 500. We've got the weekly chart. So again, if I come back into here, you can either get rid of this by just deleting from this area, or you can click the reset filters option. So if I come back out of this and go to the next part, so in the next heading up here, we've got market breadth. So if you click on this, you'll see there's a drop down that appears. And so we've got sub-industries, industries and groups. So there will be sectors soon as well. I've got all that data. I'm just building out the pages for that at the moment. So by the time you're watching this, that might exist as well. So if you click on sub-industries, for example, it takes you to the sub-industry page with the bell curve. So, and then you can see there's a list view below. So at the moment, 163 sub-industries, 2 pages, so you can click through to these, ordered by the SATA score, and then the bell curve shows you that information in chart form. And when you hover over these, you get the scores. So you can see at the moment commodity chemicals is on 18.18%, so they're all in blocks of 5, so 15% here goes from 15 to 19.99. So at the top of the column here, we've got 19.44 for trading companies and distributors, and at the bottom here, 16.25 for biotech. So they're all ordered from weakest to strongest in each column now as well. So that's something I updated today. If you click on any of these, so semiconductors, materials and equipment, you can see on the chart, you can see some are in uppercase and some are in lowercase. So uppercase means it's had a positive week. If you click on any of these, it opens the side panel as happened on the stock page, and then you can go through the group itself. So from here, there's also a secondary button. So if you click on this link at the top up here, you then come through to an individual page, which we're going to build out. Going to have charts, more charts on this, not just the breadth charts. I'm actually going to have a price chart for the sub-industries, industries and groups on these pages as well, as the breadth chart's going to have percentage stocks above the 10-week moving average soon as well as multiple other things. And I might start adding some filters into these pages too once it builds up. But initially going to be having the price chart in there. But currently we've got the SATA 6 plus chart here, so percentage of stocks in the group on a score of 6 or above. So you can see the SATA score here in this column down here in the green. So anything that's green is a 6 or above, anything that's red is a 3 or below, and the neutral scores with the blue and the orange there. So at the moment, as you can see here, just popping back up through the 60% level here. I'll probably add the percentage level to this as well. So you can see the semiconductors, materials and equipment has been rebounding. One of the signals on these ones is a break back from the lower zone. So we want to see this rebounding from the lower zone. You can see percentage of stocks above the 30-week moving average, similar kind of thing, coming back out back in sort of late October, early November time there, and has held up ever since in the mid zone and above. So anything when it's 50% or above, it's in a stronger position. So this is some really useful breadth information which you can get for any of the groups. So by coming in and clicking on the link through there. So as I said, you can just click on oil and gas exploration. Sometimes you might need to let it load if it hasn't been loaded once it's been loaded for the first time. Click on that again now, that will automatically show. So it's just caching, takes every single one needs to be cached initially, so occasionally you'll get the little spinner. Again, if I click on this, go through to the page, you can see this is rebounding at the moment, not quite out of the lower zone. You can see percentage of stocks above the 30-week moving average rebounded, and below shows you the list of the stocks and the percent change on the week. So you can see on the week we've got Northern Oil and Gas here, for example. If I click through to that, having a little rebound at the moment, coming back out of the lower zone back to a neutral score, so a little change of behavior on that one, for example. So we've got this not just for the sub-industries, but we've also got it for the industries. So there's 74 industries, 72 at the moment, but so you can see there's less, so there's 163 on the sub-industries. You've got the industries of 74, and then we've got the groups of 25. So this gives you a more condensed version. At the moment you can see there's 84% of the stocks in the weak zone. So the weak zone is all of the groups below 40%, neutral is between 40 and 60%, and strong is 60% plus. So you can see at the moment there's 0% in the strong zone. Semiconductors and semiconductor equipment leading at the moment. So again, this needs to load. Some of these ones take a tiny bit longer, but this is a broader measure. So you can see here we've got 114 stocks, for example, in this group. So again, as the rebound out of the lower zone is a potential trigger point on that one. So you can see when they both go together, even stronger signal there. So that's one way that you can use that information. So again, lower down on the chart, go back to the sub-industries. This happens on all the charts. You'll see here, if I scroll up a little bit, you've got a button down here called sector. So if you click on sector, you can go to look and see how the actual sector is compared to the other sectors. So at the moment, for example, materials starting to move up through here on the SATA 6 plus, information technology more in the middle. So utilities really in the weak zone, 100% in the weak zone, for example. Communication services more middle. So you can basically go through all of those, give you a little idea of what's going on. Up here on the top right, we have another new feature now. So where it says type, you can now switch between the SATA 6 plus chart and the percentage of stocks above their 30-week moving average. So this is using the same groups, but if we click on this, you can see now it gives you a bit of different information. Also, again, if you hover, you can see the percentage of stocks above their There are various moving averages on this, so precious metals and minerals at 50% here, gold at 88%, silver is at 100%. So 100% of these silver stocks, if I click on this and open the panel, so although we've got SATA scores, 3 of them on a weak score here, 2 on a neutral and 4 on a strong, you've got 100% of those are above their 30-week moving average. So if I click into AG here, for example, you can see it's just rebounded back above its 30-week moving average. If I click on MAG, see this is above its 30-week moving average. Hecla Mining is above its 30-week moving average. Silvercorp above its 30-week moving average. So this gives you a little bit of more information in a different way. So when you're above the 30-week moving average, or when you're using the stage analysis technical attribute score. So there's a lot more that goes into the stage analysis technical attribute score. Obviously 10 characteristics versus only 1 characteristics for the above 30-week moving average. So just gives you a little bit of a different perspective. So something else that we can do on the site, we've got the US ETFs list. I'm going to be expanding this soon. There's only 91 showing at the moment, so I'm only going to be using the 1 times ETFs for the SATA scores, because you get some distorted information with the 2 and 3 times. So you want to use for stage analysis the 1 times ETF to actually do the stage analysis part, and then you can use the 2 and the 3 times to do any kind of short-term trading if you want something that's got a little bit more volatility. So for example, if you're looking at the FNGS here, the FANG microsectors, there's a bunch of those. You've got a 2 and a 3 times version of that. Same with silver, same with gold, etc. There's lots of different ways that you can do it, but you always want to do stage analysis on the 1 times ETF. So if I click into this, for example, you can see this is the large cap, the FANG 1 times ETF, which has been running in stage 2 all the way since back down here. We've had a few little brief dips where it dipped into stage 3, but for the most part has been in stage 2 for the majority of the last year and 3 quarters now. So we'll come back into here. So now at the top right up here, we've also got the ETF summary. So this is just a quick snapshot. So we've got the US market ETFs, we've got the US sectors, got the commodities, so you can see at the moment silver, oil, commodity index, energy fund, they're all in the strong zone at the moment. Corn down at the bottom, so if I click on corn here, you can see that's in stage 4 still. Come back in, got US treasuries, which have got back to neutral and a strong point here. So the IEF at the moment developing in stage 1, for example. And then we come down, we've got some theme ETFs again. So you've got the microsector FANGs, cybersecurity ETF, semiconductors ETF, for example, all in the strong zone at the moment. At the other end, lithium, solar, for example. We click on TAN, see sitting right at the bottom of the developing stage 1 base, but this could, if it doesn't spring here, this could make a stage 4 continuation. So right on the borderline at the moment. So on a weak SATA score, so it could easily drop back into stage 4 at the moment. Borderline stage 1 and stage 4 there. So then if we come back to the members here. So as I said, anytime you want to come back to just look at the blog posts, you want to see the weekend video, for example, come in here, you can watch the video. Each weekend I do around an hour video that goes through all of the various charts that we look at. So the themes, watch the stocks, the market breadth, some of the significant weekly bars, some of the weekend watch list stocks, and the bell curves, etc., in a little bit more detail, and explain why I'm looking at some of the watch list stocks, etc. Give a bit more detail and occasional tutorials on stage analysis bits. So lots and lots of different ways that you can use the member service. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of what the membership is at the moment. So I'm going to be continuing to expand the new features over the coming months, working on this every day with my developer as well. So lots and lots of different things planned, and expanding the site continuing. And so later on in the year, or even in the next month or 2, it will probably look a lot different already. I'm going to be starting to change out this page, starting to bring in some more of the automated features from the screener, so that we can see the group themes on the move, etc. Lots of other really cool features. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of how to get started. But any questions, you can come down here. So there's a contact us link down here, so just click on that and then that will let you email me with any questions that you have to help you get started. So I hope that was useful. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, see you on the next one.